Talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. Jimmy, James, and Tom are back for more. Like Joey B, we're here for season 4 with Bengal guests and stories not heard before. There's Tony, Mark, and Jamie, as well as our charity, Hooday Nation joining from far and wide. Every Sunday night, the guys are back at it live. By the fans, for the fans, from day one, it's time to have some fun. We're talking football with Bengal Jim and friends. We're talking football. We hope this never ends. The Bengal boys stop by to drop the feet. Don't get your popcorn ready and take a seat. Season 4 will end with the Lombardi.
Welcome, everybody. We have start with rookies. Rookies, quarterbacks are in town right now, Tom. So it's getting closer, everybody. It's getting closer. Welcome to this week's episode. We got Ted Karras coming on a little bit. Guys, you guys sold 61 ducks in our charity duck race tonight, so we'll get to that here about 8:25. We're going to pull Ted on here in a couple minutes. But, Tom, what's going on, big dog? So talk about rookies and quarterbacks in camp today.
Hey, the offseason is over. It's now preseason. So next big step. But the rookies were in, the quarterbacks were in. Of course, you can't tell too much, but everybody looked good and felt good. And is the key with every preseason practice and preseason game. Nobody got hurt. So, step one, and the rest of the guys will be there. We'll talk with Ted about that in a few minutes. The rest of the guys will be there this week. And, as our intro says, the next step toward the Lombardi.
Yep. Real quick, James is on a flight right now to Indonesia. I think he's doing some scuba diving with the family in Indonesia, so he's not going to be on tonight with it. Jamie's at a concert, and our buddy Mark is just dealing with some things right now, family issues right now. So it's going to be just us three. The important people are here, so that's all that matters, guys. So, Tony, let's go ahead and get it kicked off here. Tom, go ahead and do an intro. It looks like we have Matt and Ted in the waiting room. We'll bring Matt on from Cincy Hats here. I was just up in Brownsburg, Indiana. I think I was pretty close to Matt when I was up there this week. I just got back today. So do the intro for Ted for us. We've got some fun stuff to talk to Ted about.
Well, we got him before last year, a big signing to solidify and lead that offensive line. But he's not only become a leader for the offensive line, but the team and the city as a whole. I know Zach Taylor has said, when he retires, he's going to go down as one of the most popular Bengals in history. And I believe that. And I believe he'll also go down as a Bengal with a Super Bowl ring from being here in Cincinnati. So we're honored to have our center, Ted Karras, with us tonight.
Ted, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
What's happening, guys? Glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Welcome. So, Tom, go and kick us off, but we got a lot of stuff to run by you, Ted.
All right.
Ted, before we go back, looking a little bit toward the future, this year, again, a little bit of shuffling on the offensive line. Are you concerned at all about, we've had Joe Walter and Anthony Munoz on. They talk about continuity and communication on the line. From working through mini camp and so forth, it seemed like everybody's working together pretty well.
Absolutely. I think we're, light years ahead we were last year. Just in the spring, we brought 4 new guys. And this year really was just one big addition, being Orlando. And he's such an easy install and easy coachable guy. He picked up the offense. He was making calls really day one we were on the field. So obviously we're going to have to all put it together here starting Tuesday. Wednesday we're on the field. But like they said, O-line is a continuity and a repetition position. That's what these next 5 weeks are for. But we are way ahead of we were last year. We got Cordell Volson coming back for a big year 2 jump. And Kappa's healthy. And, Jonah and on the right side. So it's going to be a great year.
You mentioned the 2 guys that flank you, Alex and Cordell. Certainly last year there was a lot of feeling out that you guys had to do to get used to each other, but you've had that all year and all off season. And I know you had mentioned that you look for Cordell to take a big jump and you anticipate him being a Pro Bowler.
I do. I think the biggest improvement that anyone makes in their careers from year 1 to year 2, you got a year under your belt. You know how the business works, you know the professionalism that it takes to succeed, and you also grow up as a man. Wait till you get a look at this guy when he comes back. He's humongous, guys. I mean, he was big last year, but he got in the weight room, did a lot of great work, and we're going to be counting on him to have a huge year.
Yep. Tony?
Yep. So Ted, I don't know if many people know this, but you're a third generation NFL player. Is that correct?
I am, and champion, third generation champion as well.
So talk about your uncles and all that and where they played and who they played for, if you can.
Well, I'll start with the Ted Karrases. Ted Karras Sr. played for the 1963 world champion Bears. He also played for the Steelers, the Lions, and the Rams. Alex Karras was his younger brother, played for the Lions for 12 years, 58 to 70. Their oldest brother, Lou Karras, played for the Washington team in the early 50s at guard and tackle. And then my father played for Washington as well in the Doug Williams championship year, 1987.
And I do believe Alex was a 4-time Pro Bowl, if I remember correctly.
I believe so. A couple all pros in there. He just got actually posthumously inducted in the Hall of Fame. He had that, him and Pete Rose were kind of kindred spirits back then with the throwing a little money around gambling. I don't really know what happened with that, but he was suspended for the whole 1963 season and kind of precluded him from being in the Hall of Fame. Thank you to the voters. A lot of people helped writing letters and doing different segments to get him in. So my family was really happy about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Ted. So look, man, we were down at that Tennessee game. Man, we've been down actually every year since they've been playing down in Tennessee. We don't miss these games, but as you're watching right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, if you got the kids watching right now, just cover their ears, earmuffs real quick. We're going to play a quick video of Ted Karras from the Nashville game. This video right here, this moment will go down in Bengals history. We're going to talk about this in here just a second.
Yeah. Fuck yeah! Right up yours, Tennessee! Fuck you! Fuck you!
All right, so Ted, when you were walking off, we were in the other corner, like caddy corner to you. We saw you walking off. We didn't know what you were saying, but we knew you were pretty ticked off about something. We found out later what all the stuff was going on, man. But, I mean, you're pretty fired up, and I think you've given plenty of explanation as to why, rightfully so. But that passion, brother, that energy is one of the reasons that this fan base absolutely loves you, man. But, hey, we got to go back down to Tennessee this year, and they're going to be waiting for us. Are you concerned at all, buddy? Concerned at all?
No, I'm glad you guys are going to be there. Have my back in the stands. We'll gets, but it is what it is. I wasn't towards the fans, but obviously that I'm glad they didn't film the 45 seconds before that when I was yelling at Tennessee. That didn't make the cut, which is good. But justice was served. Jeffrey Simmons was fined, and we got to play him again. They're a tough opponent in the AFC. We go to Nashville again. That's always a fun stop for opposing fans. I got fired up because I saw so much orange in the stands. See the guy gave a little high five. I'm glad I didn't hurt him with my helmet. But, it is a passionate game. When you get punched in the face at the end, that was a hard fought victory against a very good team. So I'm excited to get back into camp and kind of, refire up that passion because you kind of take an emotional break too for these last, 6 months. You don't have to be as intense. And my wife's been calling me out for the last 2 weeks. I'm intense walking around the house because it's go time here. And that's how I approach the game.
Yep. Good stuff, man. That video, just gives me fired up when I listen to it. It gives me goosebumps, ready to go, brother. And we do got your back in the stands, man. We travel and we travel well. And people finally the past few years get to see that nationally now. So people know we go on the road and we go pretty strong, man. So
number one loyal fan base, right? That came out.
Absolutely, man.
I couldn't imagine a different fan base being in it. And just the reaction. I mean, you guys come to we've had some of the events for the Cincy hat. Just want to thank you guys so much. You guys are always there, always putting on for us. It's fun time hanging out, and Cincy loves their teams, and we love you back.
Yeah, hell yeah, we feel it, brother, man. It's awesome. It is awesome. Tom, keep going, but I know we got a lot of stuff to hit on. Hey, real quick. I'm sorry. As you're watching right now live, we're going to try to get to a few viewer questions. So type in any questions you have right now for Ted. We'll try to get to a couple of those before we get to our duck race here in a few minutes. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
No, Ted, in all my years, and of course, hey, I'm a Bengal fan. I've never seen a team so well put together going into the season. So many things have to go right. So many things have to happen. But, overall, not just the offensive line, but overall in the locker room, are the guys confident? Is it, we got to take care of business and we're not worried about anybody else?
We are confident. We feel we left some plays out on the field and have unfinished business, towards the end of the season. And, there's a lot of football to be played. There's camp. Guys are going to carve out the roles for themselves, either make the team or move on. So this is a big 5 weeks here to set the base and the standard. And we want to come out healthy and ready to go. And right now, I think, everyone's taken this offseason extremely seriously. We had great numbers in the spring. We have guys ready to go. We've added, Orlando, what a huge addition, not only just as a talent, but as a personality, as a locker room culture driver. So, credit to the front office for building the squad. We're ready to go. I can't wait to see the guys on Tuesday, but I'm going to savor my last couple days here because we got 8 months of serious work ahead. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Speaking
of the pillars of the franchise, one of the guys that they picked up a few years back to help us get along is a guy you snapped the ball to. Hopefully has had his first normal off season and will have his first normal preseason to get ready for the game. But with all the greats and the legends you've played with at quarterback, how does he feel? Just not as a quarterback and what he does, but as a leader. What does he mean to the rest of you guys?
When you're training in the off season, I guess for me, I'm thinking about, I don't want to let a guy like that down. I'm in my weight room down in Florida getting ready to go because I know he's grinding and I know he's going to be ready to go and be at the top of the league. And that's who he is. And I think it's so cool that he's a superstar. He's obviously Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool. He's got this, pretty huge celebrity, but he has a relationship with everyone on the team. He has a relationship with everyone in the building. We know this is Nine's team, and then we're, if we can do our jobs, we know he's going to do his. So I can't say enough good about Joe. I'm really looking forward to this year, to kind of get the ball rolling here. Wednesday, I think afternoon we practice, but that's number one, and we have a lot of continuity to build up and kind of get our rhythm back. I thought we had a good spring, but Joe's the man, and we're around him to help win.
Tony?
So you've already said it, the team's coming together, you're getting the continuity, the spring was well. So, building up to this year, you've already got 2 rings for the championship. What's it going to feel like to get that third one with the Bengals this year?
The orange one will be very sweet. And there's a lot of ball to be played, like I've said, but that's on everyone's mind. And I think maybe just from a player standpoint, we're going to need to table some of that talk just in the locker room, because we need to focus on, last year we didn't start as hot as we wanted to. And we need to, put ourselves in a position towards the end of the season, to not be behind in the AFC race. We want the playoffs to come through Cincinnati. That's obviously the goal. But it's one game at a time, and there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of reps to be taken. But, yeah, an orange B on a ring. I won't take it off for a while.
Yeah, we'll get to there's just hundreds and hundreds of viewer questions in here.
I'll answer any questions you want, man.
Well, we're going to screen some of them, Ted. We got some crazy people now. I'm just saying. No, they're all good. There's a lot of repetitive things in here, but I'll just kick off the first one. Just ask about the new practice facilities. How would you think of them?
The bubble was great. Last year was really a huge advantage for us to be able to go inside when it got really cold, especially towards the end of the season. But I popped into the new facility last week just for a little bit. This is state-of-the-art, new training room. We got great tubs. We got like a fancy door that slides open with a button. They transformed kind of the training room area and recovery center. So credit to the Browns and to Matt Summers of the training room. They're really investing in us, investing in our health and recovery. And, guys really appreciate that. We're really looking forward to getting some good use out of that this year.
Yeah, nice. So some tough questions here, Ted. Here you go. What's your pregame song? What do you listen to get fired up pregame?
So I actually stopped listening to music on game day in junior year of college, I found that I would be too hyped up. I would be tired going into the game. My heart's been racing for 2 hours now, so I don't even own headphones. I'm just sitting there at my locker. Used to have a dip in, but now I don't anymore. So now I'm just gonna be eat a little peanut butter and jelly and take my risk, get ready to go. But no music for me. Nope.
I see. There you go. Another one here. I don't. As an offensive line, man. I know you like run blocking here, but Michael Clark's asking, do you think we're going to run a little bit more this season?
I think so. I mean, I think Frank does a great job. Coach Callahan and Zach Taylor do a great job putting together the plan. It's going to be obviously game plan basis. I think it's going to be hard to argue against our best offensive weapon is with 9 with the ball in his hands. But obviously we need to have balance, and we need to do a little bit better. I think the main thing we'd be focusing on is run efficiency. We need to when we do start pounding the rock, we need to block a little bit better. I thought we got better as the year went on. I think the Buffalo game was probably our best rushing game, besides Carolina and Atlanta. But towards the end of the season, I thought we got it rolling. And but we'll see. I had the luxury as a player to just run the play that's called. So
we had Corey Dillon on, a Cincinnati legend, running back here a few weeks ago with us. And, had some major, really big games in Cincinnati football history here. But, I mean, he went into games where the passing game – he went into the second half of one game where we didn't have one completed pass. So they're stacking the box. They knew we were going to run. Offensive line and the running back imposing their will on that defense. Just that's got to be very rewarding as an offensive line. When you're going up there and you're running it down their throat and you're getting 2, 3, 4 yards a pop.
Absolutely. And then – what an advantage is to be at 2nd and 3 with the guys and the weapons we have outside. And obviously, we have Joe Mixon, home run hitter. I think Chase Brown will do a great job this year. Travion Williams. We have a lot of guys. And if we can stay ahead of the sticks and keep our offense completely open to the playbook completely open, I think we're going to have major success.
All right, this next question, if you can do this, Ted, I don't know, may surpass that the video that we just saw from Tennessee, but Ted, would you do the gritty? Diddy's asking, would you do the gritty with T and Chase after a touchdown this year?
If they ask me to, I'm not just gonna go and take their gritty away from them. They do a really good job. I did do like an Irish step dance with Trent Irwin in New England this year. The broadcast kind of cut out, but I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. But if they do ask me to, I'll have to practice it a little bit. But I don't want to look corny with it.
That's funny. Tom, go ahead, buddy.
Now, Ted, with everything this year, the opponents we have to play, is there one guy or one defensive line set up that you get a little keyed up for? You can't wait to play.
I think our division has, is a very, very strong division on both sides of the ball, especially in the lines. So any division game, you got to be ready to go. This is a physical, this is a division of, I think, the biggest as far as size-wise on both sides of the ball. So, when you're going into a division game in the AFC North, that is going to be a battle. I guess, the one that you would highlight early on would be Aaron Donald, L.A. He's the best in the league. He's been the best in the league for, 8 years now. Probably more. You want to do your best against a guy like that. Obviously, you have to be at your best to be able to compete with a player of his talent. But other than that, no. We just want to, we don't want to split the division anymore. We want to beat our division opponents and leave no doubt towards the end of the season. Those are the games I'm most keyed up for. And AFC North battles are going to be, a slugfest.
All right. Tony's got another one. Yeah, Tony's got one more here in a second. But Ted, I got to ask, man. So. I didn't warn you in advance, so we don't say we say city near West Virginia, and we say city up north, and we say Ratbird. So we don't try to give them any credit for anything. But out of those teams, man, what is the? There's got to be one. They're all. We got, I think, the toughest division in the NFL. A bunch of good ball players, a bunch of good teams. But if there's one that you don't like a little bit more than the other, which one is it?
Well. I would say I've played against the city near West Virginia the most. Had a lot of battles. in Heinz Field, which I don't even the name. I don't know what happened to the bottle. That was kind of sad. I really liked that. As far as just like a cool piece that the NFL had. So I played against them the most, had a ton of battles against them. My grandfather played for them, so that always means a little bit more to me. But I don't know if I want it clipped. We'll go the city by DC, since I don't want any Twitter clips of me calling them that, giving them anything.
It's me.
They are very, very tough to deal with. Obviously, Calais not there anymore is good for us because he's tough to deal with as a player. But I think, those games, I need to get a win in that stadium.
Yeah. So we had Sam on a few weeks ago with Corey Dillon as well, man. Sam was talking about how difficult that was to play those guys back to back, right, into the season and into the playoffs. As much as I hate them, man, you got to respect every one of those damn teams because they're all that good. But man,
Absolutely.
playing Baltimore, 8 quarters in a row, that's got to be draining.
That was crazy, but we got it done. Thank goodness. We had a mission to go. I thought the game that we played out there, I think it was Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, maybe. We didn't do our best. And with the controversy towards the end of the season really fired us up. We wanted to make sure that we left no doubt in the division, and we didn't. And then we had to play him again. And obviously Sam Hubbard with the play of the year, keeping us alive with a 99-yard run. But so everyone in our division is good. I think that you can stack our division up against any in football, and we'd be at the tops. We have great quarterback play, and great lines.
Gotcha. Tony, go ahead and get one more.
Yeah, so we got some great uniforms, right? We got a couple different versions of that. The city up north just released one of theirs. What's your favorite uniform that we have that we play with?
Well, I love the white tiger. Obviously, I don't know if you can see. I got my white tiger helmet back here. I think those are really clean and awesome. But I think just regular combo, orange helmet. I like orange helmet, black. I like double black, all black, and then orange helmet really is my favorite. Or maybe orange pants, black jersey, black socks, orange helmet.
Got it. And you're a Busch Light guy, right?
I have drinks besides more of a Miller Lite guy, but I've actually, I've had a Busch Light every now and then.
Busch Latte, man.
It's been the summer, so it's been a lot more cervezas.
Exactly. There you go. Busch Lattes, man. Come on. Oh, man. Well, hey, let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Cincy hats, and let's kind of get into the duck race here. We appreciate your time, Ted. It really means a lot, buddy.
I gotta see this duck race. Duck race.
Hey, so you know who Kay Adams is, right?
I do.
Okay, so we had her on the show last year, and we were talking about the duck race, and she was mortified. She literally thought we like stapled people's names to ducks and threw them in a pond to race them. It's virtual. It's not. We're not doing any harm. PETA would shut us down. We're not doing any. It is a virtual duck race.
I thought you guys were going to have rubber ducks floating down the Little Miami. That's what I thought the duck.
Yeah, was. We could build to that. So Tony, let's go ahead and pull on Matt. We're going to have Ted, Matt, Tom, and these guys do the duck race for us. But Tony, let's go ahead and pull on Matt. Make the introduction here, buddy.
Yeah, so Matt, you're part of Cincy Hats, and of course, you tag team with your best bud over here, Teddy, and you guys came up with this great idea that's helping a lot of good people and a lot of good charity. So just tell us a little bit about the charity and maybe a little bit more about how you and Ted came up with this idea and how it's blossomed to what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So it all benefits the Village of Murchie. So that is a living community for adults with Down syndrome, autism, and other developmental disabilities. So my brother, Jason, he's 47 years old and he's got a developmental disability. He just does better with community, does better in a safe environment with people around him, with friends. A lot of folks in that situation are very isolated. And quite frankly, they live in their parents' house kind of until their parents pass away. And then they're left with a really tough decision of what happens, to the loved one we're taking care of. So my mom started the organization about 8 years ago, and it's taken off from there.
Awesome.
Wow. Hey, real quick, real quick, Tony, I guess I want to tie in a little bit. So we've been working with KAA, Kid Anderson Alliance, for many, many years. Kenny's a good friend of ours. Know everybody in that organization. I have a 27-year-old that's on the autism spectrum. Functional. He drives back and forth to work, but again, we know the challenges with that. And this sounds like these two organizations the mission's pretty similar, right, Matt?
The exact same population, just one's in Cincy, one in Indy. Ken was actually at the Village of Marici 2 weeks ago, and we were just collaborating on how can we partner together. There is an unlimited demand for these services. I mean, there is just so many people that either don't know about them or there just aren't the coaches or the apartments for them. That's kind of their life's mission is let's close that gap.
I'm having lunch with Kenny tomorrow.
All right,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's my hey Ted. When I was a little kid, man, when I was out playing Nerf football on the street, I was always Ken Anderson on offense and I was Ken Riley on defense. Man, those are my dudes, man. Kenny's good people. But Ted, it's been interesting. As we've been around a long time, man. We've been through the good and the bad, and I'm very proud of this city and how they've responded to everything that's been going on. And this city deserves it more than anybody in the NFL. But what's happening right now with the team success, but players. That you play with, and players like yourself, Ted, that are just so involved in our community. It's awesome to see. But man, you have been out everywhere, brother. You're at the Little Miami Brewery the other day raising money. You were down at the Jungle to the Hall. You're doing stuff all over the place. I can tell you, I don't know if I've seen. You've been all over the place, Ted. What is your tie-in with Matt in this charity? Because you've done a great job. I think you guys had a line at the Jungle to the Hall that wouldn't stop, and you made sure you signed everybody's hat, man. And there was no hesitation. And I just loved watching you, man. It's just so fun to watch it. Ted, talk about your partnership with these guys and the why behind it.
Well, to start, Cincy makes it easy. So Cincy loves to hang out. I love every time we've gone out. I mean, that doesn't feel like a chore to me at all. We're hanging out. You guys have come to a lot of them, made a lot of friends. I think it's cool, all the characters that people have in this fandom, this, kind of media podcast, fun. It's just a fun community. And so that makes it easy to stay out there. I mean, we were at Little Miami Brewing Company for 6 hours the other evening. So, but, it doesn't feel like that's, I think I'm getting too much credit because it's a lot of fun. But my partnership with the Village of Marici, obviously me and Matt grew up together, moved into Indy when we were in 8th grade, but autism runs in my family. I have a cousin who's about our age with nonverbal autism, and it's always been, something that we've tried to say is like, what's going to happen to Joe when no one can take care of him. And Colleen, Matt's mother, founded this charity, and it was a no-brainer. We started this right after my rookie year, started doing events for the Village of Marici, and it's been a partnership that's grown, and obviously the Cincy hat has been exponential growth. And I'm so grateful for this community for really diving in and buying these hats and donating. And it's just been, we've raised so much money. We just opened up a new apartment building, and I can't thank Cincinnati enough for the support.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were Tony and I were up at our friend's house, James, up in Brownsburg, Indiana this weekend. James is usually on the show with us. He's on a flight, him and his family going out of town, out of the country. And Scotty Randolph plays, acoustic guitar. He was there playing for this party we were at. And sure enough, he shows up with his black Cincy hat, man. So we're in Brownsburg, Indiana. He shows up with his Cincy hat, man. This guy lives a little bit north of Brownsburg. That he came down, and we saw him, and we hit it off pretty quickly there, seeing that Cincy hat. So seeing more Bengal fans up there. So it was awesome to see. So real quick, we do these duck races. This is our first duck race of the year. And Tony, kind of kick it off. So let us know how many ducks we sold and how much we raised and where we're at for the year in our total. Let's get into this duck race.
Yeah, so we were able to get 61 ducks. So it brought our total up to 1,525, all directly going right to you guys for the work that you guys are doing. So that's awesome. So that brings our grand total for the year already. And like you just said, Teddy, our year hasn't really started. You guys are starting practice Wednesday. But it brings it up to $35,265 already this year for charities. So it's been a great year already.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are doing so much good, man. Thank you.
Hey, Tony, how many charities is that right now for that 35,000?
So with the village, it'll be number 10. So we've done 10 different charities already.
That's awesome. Great work.
So
Great work.
just to remind everybody, hey, we are 501c3, but most of this money we don't even touch. We really ask the charities that we work with to set up a landing page like we did with Matt and these guys today. You went on and donated your $25 to buy a duck, and some of you guys purchased multiple ducks. So we appreciated it. It means so much. I mean, the winner tonight gets my buddy. I'm really close friends with Josh Huffman and this guy right here who painted this one. Hollis. Hollis is my dude, man. And that is a image right there that will go down in Cincinnati football history. And the other prize tonight will be a Ted Karras signed pylon. But both winner take all. Whoever's duck wins this damn thing takes home both of those right there. And
wait till you guys see Hollis's latest piece too. It's unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah. He's watching right now, Ted.
It's unbelievable. I've been walking around my house figuring out where to put it. I want everyone to see it. I don't want it to be like in corner. It's going to be like a mainstay of my house forever.
There you go. All right, so here's Tony. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this duck race up, and my producer's not here, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to try to pull this up here, and I'll let Tony you walk it off, kick us off here when I do this. Let's see.
We need Tom to do his narrating. He's the best at it.
All right, Tom, go ahead and kick us off on the duck race here, brother. So we got 61 ducks, Tom.
61 ducks, and starting gate is not up yet.
You ready? I'm ready when you
go. And they're off. Charging out past the 275 bridge on the Ohio River. Charging down, we got the COVID duck looking kind of good, which you never want to lead early, as we know that.
Ted, do you see a duck that sticks out to you anywhere? Come on.
I like this pink in the front. Jenny Davis also steady in the front here. Who's left?
Like that. We're going by the east end. The COVID duck is still in the lead, which is typical. We got a challenger up on the outside.
Is COVID duck Jerry Blackwell? Is that what you're calling? Because
the pink duck with the little dots on it.
It looks like it's diseased.
Oh, I can only see
about the whole time.
Like it just looks
10 seconds to go past the Montgomery and Boathouse.
Wait
a minute. Oh man,
Colleen Rainey, come on.
And like that, it's going to be tough. And there it is. Susan Huber. Congrats to Susan Huber.
Let's go.
It would have been a
any relation to Kevin Huber?
It might be. You never know. I got to get that thing off here. Hold on. Stop screen. Should be good. So if you're watching, make sure you DM us. We'll have the information. I think we have your information anyhow. Try to get a hold of us. If not, we'll reach out to you. And Tony has the prints. Sorry, guys. We'll try to get this duck race off. There we go. We're going to try to get that. Tony will get that print to you one way or the other. Whether we either meet up with you, drop it off for you, or we mail it to you, depending on where you're at. We've had to mail stuff to Canada and England and Germany before on some of these duck races for people winning. But 61 ducks, man, a really big deal, over $1,500. Ted, Matt, look, I can't begin to tell you, man, you guys have been all over working hard, and you can tell the passion. You can see the passion that you guys have around this, and it's just awesome to see it, man. And that's that passion comes through, and it's awesome to see.
Well, I thank you guys so much. I mean, for all the support. This is incredible. This duck race raising that. I mean, it's doing so much good. Can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff we've built through your support. That'll be coming out here soon. Really looking forward to this season. It's going to be a big year. Jim, my family's going to be around at your tailgate quite a bit. So let me know if anyone gets a little unruly. That's been known to happen.
We got them, brother. We have a lot of the families join us down there. And actually, if you let me know in advance, we'll make sure they get VIP, and we'll put them in an area where they don't get heckled too bad, or not heckled, but
I'll talk to you week 10, see if you're still offering that. But thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much, Ted. Look, man, I know you haven't been with us for 15, 20 years, but man, you have, in a very brief period of time, become part of Cincinnati football history, brother. And We love you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Tell the guys we'll be there every damn game, home and away. We plan on being there at every single away game again this year. We've already got our flights booked to every one of the away games. Tony and I are even heading out to Washington to catch a preseason game here for the weekend. Quick in and out in Washington. But, brother, we're there for you, home and away. We appreciate everything you guys are doing, man.
You guys are the best. Going to be a big year ahead. Go Reds and Who Dey.
Who Dey, baby.
Dey.
See you guys.
Stay
Thank you
healthy,
so
man.
much. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you both. It's our
Really
center.
good news, man. That was fun, man. That was a good time, man. And we're pretty much right on time too. We're not too far off time. But the duck race, man, that's we did that over a 2-week period. We had a lot of stuff going on, but over $1,500, man. That's pretty solid for them, man. That's a really cool thing. So really cool prizes. So get a hold of us. Let us know.
Yeah, real
Go
quick
ahead.
on the duck race. We got our next one already set up. It'll be for August 8th. So that information will be coming out. So look forward to that, and we'll get some more opportunities to give some good money to some charities. So good times.
Yeah, let me do this. We're going to kick over right to share screen here. See if I can still do this. I'm going to put a link in the chat area right now. But we have our new shirt for the tailgate shirt for the 2023 season. You see Big Burrow, which is prominent on our tailgate, before the roar tailgate experience here, before the roar on the back with a schedule on the back. So I think we already sold like that first day, sold like 35 of them. And don't forget, we have other shirts on there as well, including Tony the Tiger. The proceeds for Tony the Tiger shirts right here go to Maddie's house, right, Tony?
Yeah, that's correct.
And the proceeds for these other shirts all go to Ken Anderson Alliance here. But I'm going to put a link in the chat area here in a minute. And make sure you order your shirts. They look awesome. The folks from Cincy Shirts spent a lot of time in those. The design looks awesome, man. So make sure you take advantage of that. Let's go ahead and get into – guys, let's flip it here a little bit. Let's talk about the Ring of Honor, Tom. And we had a major announcement this week. We kind of knew in advance who they were going to be. But talk about this Ring of Honor, Tom, because there's still a lot of discussion around all these guys should be eligible, should be in, but there's some guys maybe saying they should be in before others, that type of thing. But talk about our thoughts around this.
Well, I think the main thing is the Bengals got started late on this, and that was maybe some proper feelings about that, about teamwork. No one person, no one figure being above the rest of the team. But I know we were all thrilled when the decision came down that they were going to go ahead and have a Ring of Honor. And we just got started late, being 50-plus years in as a franchise with all the great players that have meant so much to the town and all of us fans, Bengal Nation all over. So, we had 4 the first year, and it's been 2 since then. This year it's going to be Chad and Boomer. Chad was the guy in the 2000s that brought the spotlight to Cincinnati. He was a showman. He was an incredible wide receiver, and he has numbers. He should certainly be in the discussion for going into the Hall of Fame one day. Unfortunately, wide receiver is probably the deepest position to try to burst in from, and the other one being Boomer. And Boomer was this town in the 80s. There was no bigger sports celebrity in this town in the 80s than Boomer Esiason. He put this franchise on his shoulders, particularly his left one, and threw us to a Super Bowl in 34 seconds from winning it. So, congratulations to both. I'm thrilled for them both. They both belong on there. I'll be honest, this year, it's nothing, I think the world of them. I didn't vote for either one of them. I voted for 2 different guys. And, I think what's interesting, 2 things. I'd like to know from other fans, what is each individual's criteria for how you vote when you look at these guys? What's your criteria to put them up top? And the other thing is, if we're going to tweak it, what's the solution to tweak it to make it even better?
As you're in the chat area right now, if you could put, what is your criteria? If you're a season ticket holder or even not a season ticket holder, and you were voting, what is your criteria? What do you go by? Is it just a player that you loved? Is it What is your criteria when you placed your vote? I mean, the Bengals are giving us the pin on this thing, man. We're the ones, the fans, that are determining the players that are going in there. There was never more popular player than Chad Johnson. During the time that he played, the energy and excitement he brought to a city saved a whole generation, started a whole new generation of Bengal fans in this city. At a time, this city desperately needed it. And Boomer Esiason, one of the most dynamic players to ever wear orange and black in this organization, took us to the Super Bowl. This guy was a leader, a true definition of a leader. So both these guys are very deserving. Let's talk about why you voted for them. So here's already a response right here from Andre. I voted for Chad last year because he's my all-time favorite. Willie was also my vote last year. So again, people are voting because, hey, that's who they grew up with watching. They were favorite players. Yeah, obviously both these players had an impact to the franchise, no doubt. That's a great point for sure. Let's keep going here. There's a lot of stuff popping up here now. What is this one saying now? The whole picture, how they played for the team and the city, their impact on both. Hey, Jen, that's a great point right there. Let's see another one here. We've got Dalton. Comes down to Bengals playing catch up. That's exactly right, Tom. To hit on that point, that's exactly what you were saying, right?
Yeah, they were just a little late. But before you get anybody else, and Dalton, anybody that follows him on social media, he's a Bengals fan and always has great thoughts about the team. But you two guys are season ticket holder. Jimmy, you for a long time. What do you look at when you click on your two votes every spring?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this. It's been a while since we've talked in detail about this. I personally, the older players, not because I like them better than some of the more modern players that are on that list. Just I want the older players because everybody in that list deserves to be in that ring of honor. But my reason that I want the older players to be there. A lot of these guys in their 70s and late 70s in there. So I go one old school guy and one more modern guy. Tom, are you still there? You look frozen like you're drinking that bottle of water. I got to take a picture. Are you still there, Tom?
He's moving a little slow.
Tom, go ahead, Tony. Finish here. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, so I'm very similar to you, Jimmy. I like the older players. They kind of built the foundation to get us where we are now with the players that we have today. So I kind of do the same thing. I vote for an older player from back in the day, and then I look at the newer players that's come up that's made an impact to the team and also to the community. So that's kind of how I vote as well.
Yeah, there's just a boatload of comments being, Peggy voted for Chad because, he shows his love for Cincinnati continuously every day. Shows his love for Cincinnati. Yeah, Joe, you know what, man? That's a good point, man. He went with his favorites from the Super Bowl team. And Dalton would have voted for Chad and Willie. A lot of people did, for sure. Let's see here. Keep going here. My vote is for Chad based on impact he had on the team in the city. Yeah, it's a great point, Diddy.
He just might.
Yeah.
One possible solution to all this, and while the Bengals are good to us, I'm not sure they've ever come to us for advice, and nor is that likely to happen. But I think we as fans thus far have done a really darn good job. Certainly the first six guys that went in were six guys that had to go in and deserved to be in. And the two going in this year deserve to be there too. They're Bengals legends. But in addition to the two that the Bengals are gracious enough to give the responsibility to us fans to put in there, maybe a third guy can go in for a certain number of years. Just like the Hall of Fame has expanded their seniors category to 3 players. Let's put a third guy in there, but that third guy can be selected from a group that the Bengals put together. Have some management in there. Certainly Mike Brown, Katie, Troy, Elizabeth, Caroline, and then some qualified, true Cincinnati media. Jeff Hobson. I know he's retired from Channel 5, but I'll bet he could be talked into being in that room. George Vogel, Chick Ludwig. The guys that really appreciate Bengals history, appreciate the guys and what they meant to the city and what they are deserving of. And for a certain number of years, have that select committee put that third player in for several years. Just a thought.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great point. And Dalton makes a great point here, man. And this is something we have been talking about as a fan base for decades and decades. And there was a period of time that we felt maybe they weren't listening at all. And obviously things have changed over the past 3 to 5 years for sure. And Dalton makes a great point there. We are blessed to be in the situation we're in right now for sure. So anything else to add on the Ring of Honor stuff? There's still stuff popping in here. Byron said Duke Tobin would have got his vote, but he wasn't on the list.
No, I don't think it qualifies.
Not
But,
yet.
there's some guys that have not been nominated that should be nominated. Bob Johnson, the only guy to have his number retired. First captain, 11 years center. He should be nominated. Sam Weich, Forrest Gregg. And when he's eligible, I'd even put Marvin Lewis in for a nomination.
You know what? I think there's a valid point for that, Tom. Marvin Lewis being in there. As much as there's a lot of love for Marv, but there's definitely some folks in here that weren't big Marvin fans. So, all right, let's go ahead and kick it off here, guys. Let's go ahead and go.
Hey, folks, it's time for the 2-minute warning.
Man, there's a Bengal legend right there with a 2-minute warning, Tom.
Joe Walter.
So, Joe Walter. Tony, go and kick us off on the 2-minute warning here as we close out, man.
So I think we had a pretty good, successful duck race for being our first one for the year. So I, again, want to thank Cincy Hats for teaming up with us and giving us the opportunity to help them. And I'm sure we're going to help them in the past. It's like we always have with the other charities. I wanted to mention, too, I don't know, we talked about the quarterbacks and them coming back to field today. But anybody see the new helmet that Mr. Burrow is sporting? Because to help him keep him in the game and not get concussions. So I think that's a good thing. And then, I'm just looking forward for the year. We got training camp coming up, and, I'm going to try to catch a couple of those. We got the back together game as well Saturday. So I'm looking forward to getting back with the fans and seeing everybody next Saturday. So other than that, that's all I had, man. And who day to everyone.
Yep. Tom?
We'll be zooming in next week with a lot more focus on that first Saturday in August up in Canton. Ken Riley going into the Hall of Fame. And if you're not booked to go up there, I certainly hope you do. It's going to be such a special day. We can show the world the enthusiasm for the team, but also an incredibly deserving player, a guy that should have been in the Hall of Fame decades ago. And unfortunately, he will not be there, but his family will, and they are every bit as classy as the leader of their family, Ken Riley himself. So I know the weather, despite what we're having in Cincinnati this week, looking at the long range, I think the weather that day is a high of 79 in Canton. So, consider,
We'll
go up
take
with a
that
friend, sit in the Cincinnati section, the Ken Riley section, and go from there. But yeah, our current guys are back working hard, working to get to win that last game in February. And we will see you guys next Sunday night.
Yep. Guys, real quick, some things I wanted to kind of hit on with you guys. I would not be surprised to hear shortly a Joe Burrow extension. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen soon. So it's got to happen before the season starts, in my opinion. So it'd be interesting to sit back and when that happens, it actually should put a poll together on that, guys, and see who gets the closest on that one. This Saturday is the welcome back practice, I think is what it's called. We go every single year. I've not missed one of these, and it's as long as they've been doing these things. But we're not going to be tailgating for this. I know I'm getting a ton of questions on that. We're going to probably hold it down at one of the bars kind of near the stadium, and I'm going to be sending out some social media blast. I'm talking to a lot of my customers and friends downtown at those bars and restaurants and kind of get us a place locked up down there to kind of hang out, have some beers and lunch before we go into the practice and have some fun. Tailgates, let's talk about that a little bit. I'd hope to have some very specific news about the home tailgates, but what I can tell you, stay tuned, be patient. We have got some things going on that I 30 years ago never would have imagined. This platform or social media platforms, this show, the tailgate has benefited so many local charities and bringing people together. It's unbelievable, and so many people are involved now wanting to be part of this, businesses and This is not corporate. I know we get a lot of local businesses wanting to be part of what we're doing. We don't make a dime. We don't keep a penny of any of this stuff. But there's some things going on right now. We're in a serious discussion and negotiations on a few things. We hope next Sunday we might be able to announce some major news about tailgates here in Cincinnati. And just when you think it can't get better, guys, it's going to be crazy this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. So more to come. I'm sorry I'm being very vague. I can't be specific yet. We're still working through some things. We're close to kind of.
I'll make it even bigger. We don't do serious conversations. Have we, Tony? Do we do serious conversations?
Not that I can remember. No.
Ah, geez, Pete's. Road games. We do have 2 road games targeted for tailgates. Arizona and Nashville are our targets. Right now, we are struggling finding spots to actual tailgate. So tailgates, those are the road trips. If you're in any of those towns or have any maybe connections with us, let us know. We're still working on locations for those tailgates in those towns. We have an event, a massive event in San Francisco and in Napa Valley the night before. I think it's Sunday afternoon. We have I think it's 30,000 square foot wine cave in the middle of Napa Valley that a very limited number of Bengal fans are going to be at. And it's getting close. It's getting to the point where it's almost sold out. So if you're in San Francisco for a few days and you want to attend that event, it'll be probably one of the most unique night before pregame, events that we've ever done. And we're very excited about that. Thanks to Bold Stripes reaching out to us and partnering on that piece of it. So I'll share those links again on our social media platforms. So tailgates, definitely Arizona and Nashville. Other events will be happening, not specifically us going on the road with all of them. So there's going to be some more, but those are 2 for sure we're trying to work through right now. But a lot of exciting stuff and a lot of things going on with charities that businesses wanting to get involved to make this even bigger than what we ever imagined. So there's some things going on we're excited about. But we appreciate you being with us, guys. It means a lot. This doesn't happen without you. This is for the fans, by the fans. We enjoy being with you, having fun every week, and we're excited about the guests we've had. We've already had, Ted Karras and Brian Simmons and Sam Hubbard and CD. And I tell you what, man, we've got more fun stuff planned for you guys. We appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for being with us tonight, everybody. Hoo day.
Hoo day.